This summer, Prime Video takes you back before Legally Blonde, before law school, and into the world of Elle Woods in high school. Set in 1995, this Gemini vegetarian knows exactly who she is until her family moves from Bel Air to Seattle. Packed with iconic fashion, 90s nostalgia, and a throwback soundtrack, Elle proves one thing. Law school was hard. High school was harder. From the world of Legally Blonde, watch Elle, a new original series only on Prime Video. Watch now.
Well, we are back with another episode of Something for the Culture. I'm your girl, Jazzy J. And tonight, let me just, first off, we got to do this right, because this is a lot of Bronx energy, thunder energy in here.
Period.
My girl, none other, two-time award-winning of the couch.
Yes.
Welcome back to the culture, my girl.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad to be back.
We glad to have you back. It's been a minute since we sat down.
It has. It really has.
The last time we met, we was on your neck of the woods, and now we're coming back on over here to the culture. Exactly. So it's good to have you back.
Thank you.
And we have so much to talk about. So let's not waste not a moment, and let's get into it. So let's start off with, because the last time you was here on the culture, you were actually getting ready to drop an album.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how long it's been.
Oh my gosh. And I think that was my first album. Wow.
Yeah. No, I think, matter of fact, no, it might have been the second.
Oh, you know what? The Foolish album. It was the Foolish album. Yeah. Okay. That was actually my second album. Wow. That's been a while.
Yeah. It's a long time. So let's take it from that point on.
Okay.
Because when I last saw you, you were dropping the album, and now here we are, two-time award-winning podcast, OKC.
Right.
So tell me how you jumped from that to this.
So honestly, I never imagined that I would be doing podcasting. I honestly didn't know when it was gonna come, how it was gonna come, or if it was ever gonna come. I never even thought about it. But what happened was, after I had dropped my album, that was my second album, I was still in Detroit. And I was in the midst of, and it wasn't even COVID yet. It was actually about to be COVID. And in the midst of like transitioning to move, I wanted to do something different with my career. And at the time, I was thinking that Atlanta was the move. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave from Detroit. I'm going to go to Atlanta, and I'm going to start, doing something different with my career. When I got there, COVID hit. Everything was shut the fuck down. And I ended up having a slip and fall case at Hooters. And so in that moment, I don't know, like I was in pain. I was just, I was already dealing with lupus, and then things wasn't happening the way I thought it was supposed to happen in Atlanta. When I got there, they was like, "Oh, you old." I said, "Oh." They was like, "Yeah, you got one more year and then you done. That's it. You dead in the water." And so it kind of hurt me, because right after it, matter of fact, let me rewind, because I actually went through a really bad domestic in the middle of the Foolish album. So if you listen from Scars on a Diamond to Foolish, you notice that I started using more of my low singing, my low tones in my voice. And it was because I was choked so bad that I couldn't even talk for maybe 3 months.
Wow.
I'm talking about nothing would come out. And I was so depressed. I was crying every day. I was like, yo, like, I'm never going to be the same again. I didn't know if I was going to sing again. So when I came out with the Foolish album, I had some of my songs already recorded, but the ones that I finished up with, which what named the album Foolish, was the low tones in the Foolish song, because that was the first time I got back in the studio after being choked out. So fast forward now, I'm back in Atlanta. It's shut down. I had a slip and fall case. I'm getting better. But now I'm in a transition to go back to Oklahoma, because at this point, I was 29 first. And then when I made it to Atlanta, I had turned 30. But I was with, I was with my guy that I was with. And I told him, I said, hey, if you don't get me pregnant by the time I'm 30, I'm going to go ahead and find my woman, because she was the only one I knew I was in a relationship with that was like, that I felt the best, that I was just like myself, like I was happy. So I was just like, if you don't, get me pregnant by the time I'm 30, baby, 30 came. I was already in pain anyway, and I am okay. So now I transitioned to Oklahoma to find my wife. So I get to Oklahoma.
Okay.
So I get to Oklahoma, and I found her. We get together. Now I'm in a whole different mind frame, because now I'm happy. Now I'm genuinely happy in the inside. So now my music has transitioned from Scars on a Diamond, Foolish, to I had a new album after that called Elevate. So Elevate was like the elevation of both of those two albums, and who I am now, and what I'm and who I am as a person, and what I'm doing now. In the midst of that, coming to Oklahoma, February 2nd, 2022, I was shopping at a grocery store called Sprouts, and an employee hit me with a forklift, and it changed my entire life. Like, when I say change me, I've had a 360 spinal surgery, 2 shoulder surgeries, ribs broke, a neck fusion, all because that man hit me with a forklift and left. I got so depressed that in my head, I needed a therapy. I couldn't think of what it was. That happened February 2nd. In May, I ended up in the hospital from that injury, but nobody knew. I just had a migraine. I couldn't open my eyes. I had a migraine for 2 weeks. And they didn't want to tell me what was wrong, because for those that, that are watching, if you don't have somebody that's in the hospital with you 24/7, they can do whatever they want to you. And that's what they did at Baptist Integris Hospital. They tried different medications on me that wasn't out. They took my spinal fluid, like, for no reason, and didn't even, some of the stuff that they did to me, they didn't even document it. And then they changed my records saying that I only came to visit for lupus. It doesn't even say that I stayed in the hospital for eight or 9 days. So in that moment, when I felt like everything was over, like, I literally knew they was literally bringing me in papers to sign my will. I literally knew it was over for me. I felt like it was, like, I didn't see myself living any longer, because I was like, they don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. I didn't know if it was failures from lupus. I didn't know what was going on. My wife did everything she could to get me out that hospital because of what they did to me. She took me to her chiropractor, and her chiropractor told me that my neck was misaligned, like I needed a neck fusion. But nobody wanted to, they didn't want to put me through the MRI machines or none of that. They just kept putting me through a CAT scan machine, which is not going to tell you what's going on right here. Well, that hospital...
Was there any specific reason why they didn't want to put you through an MRI?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you. You see these piercings? This was their excuse. My piercer I'm talking about so many people were sending in paperwork because this is titanium. If you could put a titanium hip in an MRI machine, why can't you put a titanium piercing? You can't sit there and tell me that it can't go in there because I've been in there before. They just didn't want to do it. So I had to advocate for myself. In the midst of having this migraine and not being able to see, I had to get my piercer wrote them and told them, hey, it's safe for her to go into the machine. Y'all could put her in the machine, but they still didn't never do it. So I ended up going to that chiropractor, and that's who told me that I needed that neck fusion. But this is what it really was. I didn't have insurance at the time. I didn't get insurance until I married my wife. And so once I got insurance and I married my wife, that's when they started saying, oh my God, you need back surgery. You need this. It got so bad. Oh, well, how come y'all didn't say that whenever I first came in? And this is the same injury. This is the same. So this led me
right, because it would have been a liability in their eyes.
Exactly. So it led me into just a deep depression. And I said, you know what? I said, babe, I'm going to start a podcast. And she said, you know what? That's a good idea. And that same night I started it, and I never stopped. This is my 4th year and my 5th season. I literally been going ever since, but I started it because this is the therapy that you never knew you needed. Like, it's not just therapy just for me, it's therapy for my guests. And sometimes my guests get on here and they think that we're going to be talking about, like, I don't know, but no, I want to know about your mental. I want to know about, your kids. I want to know about all of that. I don't just want to know about your music and no, I want to know about you. So
right.
It is, everything that happened at Sprouts, being hit with that forklift, led into me starting a podcast, led into me wanting to tell the world, like, yo, this is what they doing to us. Because I wanted the world to know, however many people I can touch, that this is what's happening.
Right.
And then I realized that I didn't want the podcast to just be about music or just to be about my hospital visit or what happened. I wanted to be about all the things, mental health, 211 not really genuinely helping people, men not getting the support that they really need mentally, physically, and emotionally, because whatever, just we talk about everything on the couch. It's not just one subject. We literally talk about everything.
Right.
And I'm appreciative for my couch potatoes, because they brought me through a lot too. I've had so many surgeries where,
and you know what, it's so funny that you say that it's therapeutic, because it really is. Yeah. It really is. We get up here, and for those who don't podcast or do anything media based, it look from the outside looking in, it looks like we just literally get here, we sit in front of a camera and we talk, and everybody thinks it's easy, but it's not. It's a bunch of work that goes into this. Not only is it's a bunch of work, it's also a bunch of headache that comes along with it. With getting up here, finding things to talk about, making sure that you're, saying the right things and getting the good information out over to the people that need to hear it. So it is very therapeutic to not only us, but to the people that listen.
Right. And honestly, and I want to kind of jump off of what you just said, it's not that easy, especially everybody's not going to agree with what you say. And the fun thing about the couch is I literally don't care. Like, I want you to have your own opinions. I want us all, because that's what it's for. It's not just about listening to my opinion. I'll be reading people's opinions too. But sometimes, you might advocate for something. Like, okay, I always do prison, jail, felon talk. So I got it's real sensitive to me when it comes to somebody reaching out about it. And a lot of times people hit me up from prison. Now, I don't know who they offended in their old days, when they first caught their case. I just know that the person that they are now and what they trying to do, and I'm trying to help with that or assist with that. And sometimes people will get mad, like, yeah, you don't know what they did to my cousin. And I'm like, well, I don't know, but I do know that they did their time. I mean, you know,
right.
But sometimes, like I said, people, they gonna say whatever. You messy, you this, you that, but hey, it comes with being a journalist sometimes.
And you know what's crazy about that? Dealing with inmates, because I've had quite a few on the platform where they have been wrongfully
accused,
instituted, and they have done it more than enough time than they should have done in the first place. And you know what's crazy about that is, you know, everybody makes mistakes. Was their mistake that maybe they was in the wrong place at the wrong time? Probably so. Right. But my thing is, everybody has a backstory, and everybody makes mistakes. Who are we to not allow them to get a second chance? Now, I know every subject or every situation is different depending on the charge, especially when it comes down to pedophilia and you know, rape charges and stuff of that nature. However, they still have a right to, even though we may not agree, they do have a right.
No, that's real. That's real. And you know, one thing I can say about, since I started the couch, it helped me actually understand more on that end. You know, it helped me, not saying that I was judgmental before, because when I was in prison, I would never ask nobody about their charge, but it helped me understand more that it's really not about, it's not about us. Like, if somebody genuinely changed, like, who are we to keep condemning them? I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me no matter what I did. I would want forgiveness. And that's just like whenever you get to the pearly gates, don't you want forgiveness? Don't you want, like, please, yo, I know I did wrong. Please, can you forgive me? And what if he was just like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? He could do that. Just like we
out here sinning every day. To be honest with you, all of us are.
Yes.
We out here sinning every day.
Exactly. So, yeah.
So one thing I wanted to ask, because, you know, like you said, you won 2 awards back to back. Now, let's go back to the first award. Let's go back to the nomination. When you learned that you was nominated, what was the feeling?
Honestly, the feeling was, wow, you know, because I never even thought nobody would even tune in, honestly. I just thought that I would be talking to myself on screen, and I don't mind talking to myself. But I was blown away, and I was just like, wow, like, you know, people, they might not tune in all the time, but they see the consistency, they see the work, they see what I'm doing, and they see that, you know, if you really tune in, then you know that I don't just talk about messy stuff. I talk about everything. So this is how I know that they genuinely had tuned in a time or two to actually put the time and effort out to go vote for me and make sure that I, you know, won that award twice. You know that.
Right.
I'm humble, you know, I'm really appreciative for that.
Yeah. You know, I'll be the first to say it was kind of a proud mama moment for me, because, you know, you was over here first.
Yeah.
This is your first interview when you came over to the culture years back. And then to see you go from, you know, that and doing music and then evolve and rebrand yourself into now
that gave me
a voice for the people, you know, your way in Oklahoma, and not just even the people in Oklahoma, people that have been in your same story or shoes, coming from, you know, being incarcerated or coming from suffering with lupus. You have a voice for those people, and seeing that, it was such a proud mama moment for myself to see you, you know, celebrate it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh my God, my girl. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
You know, my girl's thing. You know, you guys look wonderful when you was accepting the award. Let's talk about the outfit, because the outfit that you and your wife had, okay, y'all was matching. I thought, okay, look at custom.
You know what?
Yeah, and now who did y'all outfits? Because that was custom.
Okay, so I will say this. I'm also a stylist. And when I was in Detroit, I used to work at this clothing store, and everybody, they'll come straight to me. They be like, "Hey, go to Janelle. She know how to match. She'll match anything up with whatever. She got you." Mm-hmm. So I learned how to shop in a regular people store, anywhere I could shop reasonable to make it look good. So actually, it was custom, but there's a custom person that has all of their clothes on certain websites, and you just got to really find it, because I love custom stuff. I love, a one-time wear, you know what I mean? And when it comes to me, when it comes to the People Choice Awards, I don't care that it's local. I'm gonna treat it like it's just like how y'all treat the famous BET, and I treat it the same way. I'm not finna just
that was y'all BET. Why that couldn't be y'all BET awards?
Yeah. I'm gonna dress up just like they do. They gonna talk about it, and I will say, it's been a couple of young heads that was like, "Yeah, y'all look like a disco ball." Baby, that's because you don't know style.
Listen, whether I look like a disco ball, a beach ball, a handball, you still looked, okay?
Yes.
And you gave it life and attention.
Exactly.
So I did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, you're gonna have to let me style you one day.
Yes, come on, I'm ready for it. Now, how does your wife deal with the success of you with the music and the podcasting, and of course, dealing with your lupus? Like, because that's a lot. Yes. I know it's a lot for you,
definitely.
But how is it a lot for your wife to see her significant other going through some of this stuff?
Well, the amazing thing about my wife is she's just an amazing woman. When we was in prison, she was actually the only person that believed me when, because, they didn't tell me that I had lupus. They hid it from me. But I didn't really find out until I had left. But I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know what. So when I would be in the band room, she was actually my very first producer, too. We was in the band together. So we was in the band room, and she would just watch the pain, just watch me in pain, and she would know I wouldn't lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell when somebody lying. So for her, watching my music from where it went from prison to where it is, no, I couldn't sue them for medical negligence because they actually changed my records. But she started from the music in prison with me, and then to see now, like, everything, it still amazes her. Like, I'll have her sitting on the couch, and we'll be in the studio. When she wake up, the whole song is done, mix, master, record. She's like, wow, like, it's still, even though she knows my capability, she still is impressed, which is amazing to me, because she is, when I say she could play every instrument like a professional, like, she's amazing. She literally was my first producer. She's amazing when it comes to anything that has to do with me going to the hospital and lupus. She is, I'm talking about anybody that has autoimmune disease, the pain that we go through. So the rub downs, so many doctors, nurses told her, wow, you're still here. Even after back surgeries, they was like, there's been, marriages that broke up because of these type of surgeries. I'm talking about that 360 spinal surgery. They go through your stomach and your back at the same time. I couldn't even lift myself up. She had to lift me up. I couldn't get off the bed to use the bathroom. She had to put the bedpan under me. Like, the things that my wife has been through with my body, I always say to her, babe, thank you for being, like, I'll be thinking her, she'd be like, girl, shut up. Like, because, man, I couldn't do this without her. Like, I don't want to cry, but I couldn't.
You over here talking about 360 spinal surgery, and my little behind was tearing up and balled up from a hysterectomy. Girl, you've been through a lot. Like, that's a lot to endure on one person, and the fact that you have such a supportive wife to back you up and, you know, hold you up, that says a lot about our union.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm telling you, like, and with lupus, and I talk about this on the couch, but sometimes it'll fight a surgery that I had, like a surgery that was supposed to help. Like, I had 4 hernia surgeries back to back, and I could cough and you could literally see the hernia pop out. They was like, they never had a hernia like literally under the ribs. I had a hernia under my ribs. Like, it was like back, like literally having to. My wife is the only one working. I've been out of work for 4 years now, since I've been hit with that forklift. She's literally like my backbone, my strength, my everything, like everything.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So to go from all of that, you know, dealing with being out of work, dealing with the surgeries, dealing with the lupus, how do you still find time to cope and get on a podcast and give it your all? Because, I mean, anybody else would have folded. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of people would have folded. So how do you build yourself up to come live and help so many people that you have?
I honestly, man, I get my strength from just within, from my wife, from just my couch potatoes, because I know that there's someone that's out there that either went through something worse than me. And honestly, my wife was like, babe, you know, you've been through so much. You can literally relate to almost everybody. So you got to start letting them, you know, tell them what you going through without you being like, yeah, me too. Because it's like, I always have a me too. And honestly, I get sick of it. Having lupus, everything, it makes you susceptible for everything. I have to push through it. Otherwise, I will be sitting up crying and depressed. If I don't get up and do something, y'all, I'm already taken away from work. I have to at least help somebody else some way, somehow, because I was put on this earth to help. And I didn't realize, I thought it would only be through my music. I didn't realize that it would also be through my podcast. And so, what an honor to get up every day and help somebody.
Mm-hmm. So there's, you know, when you got married, there was a lot of, I saw you go through a lot of discrepancy when you popped out, got married, you know. And I've been knowing you for, I think it's probably been, a good 10 years now. It's been 10 years that I've been knowing you. And, you know, to know you and your mom and stuff, and to, you know, see you post some of the things that you were going through after you said your vows to your wife. And what I'm speaking of is, you know, the relationship with you and your family. Has that gotten any better?
No. Honestly, I haven't spoken to them since we got married. It was honestly a shock to me because of the relationship that I had with my family. I thought we was like this. Like, I never, ever, ever imagined that we wouldn't be talking, that we wouldn't have a relationship, that I would be the statistic, like, yeah, I don't talk to my parents. Like, I would be one of those ones. I never had any idea. So in the midst of it happening, I still was in disbelief. I still didn't want to believe it. I was still waiting, like, for somebody to be like, just kidding. And when it didn't happen, I was like, oh, okay. So my thing was this. I've never hid anything about who I am. If something has happened to me, I've always been vocal about it. When I turned myself in to go to prison, so what they did was I spent almost a year and a half in jail fighting my case, but then they ended up giving me 5 days of freedom, which it really wasn't freedom because I had on the leg monitor and everything. So I spent that time with my family, and the last day I spent with my sister, my brother, and her boyfriend at the time. I had to fight for my life that whole night because everybody was drunk and my sister's boyfriend was trying to rape me. I remember getting to the jail and calling my sister like, Sissy, please, you got to break up with him. He tried to rape me all night. I didn't get to sleep. And I was telling her what happened. I'm crying. And I never thought nothing of it. I thought that she took heed. And then I find out that not only did you get married to him, but you had 2 of his kids. And I was supposed to just be okay with it. When I get out, I'm supposed to just be like, yeah, they got kids. That's my nieces. So auntie. Well, anytime I was around them, I always made sure that my uncomfortability was shown. Like, I was not comfortable. So when in the midst of me getting back with my wife, y'all seeing the relationship, y'all like, well, I love y'all. I'm like, yo, this has been going on since like prison. Like, we got separated, and that was a whole nother story. So I'm thinking we all connect and everything is happening good. When I told my mom and dad that my wife asked me to marry her, they hung up on me first. They laughed and thought it was a joke. I was like, hello, can y'all come down here? Like, I'm about to get married. We originally went to go crash my friend's wedding because my friend, I was like, no, something in me was like, no, I got to go crash this wedding. So I did a whole segment on the couch. I was like, y'all come with me to Tulsa. We about to go crash my friend's wedding. And my sister and my mom was supposed to have my back. They were supposed to be the getaway driver. And my wife was supposed to, because in case the car got stuck, my wife was going to meet us. We had this big plan. Well, me and my wife did go. I did. We ended up crashing the wedding, and we actually got married twice. We got married that day, which is the day I was like, come out here. We about to get married. So when they didn't come, I was like, you know what? It's cool if they don't come. We're going to do an official wedding May 20th, and we're going to send invites to everybody. We sent invites to everyone. I even sent one to my sister. I sent one to everybody. You know what they said? How dare you? I said, excuse me? How dare you get married to a woman, to her? I was like, wait a minute. But nobody had an issue with my sister marrying this man that tried to rape me. Nobody had an issue with that. And they had kids. Nobody still has an issue. But I'm the issue because I married the love of my life who worships the ground that I walk on. And y'all mad? We got to make it make sense. So when my father called me and told me that he didn't believe me, that it never happened, that he raised him and he could never, you raised him. I was like, oh.
And when you say him, you're talking about the sister's husband.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, when I went to prison, I guess he had moved in with the family, and they carried on life, and I don't know. I wasn't there. I was in prison. But that don't got nothing to do with me. All I know is what he tried to do with me. And I forgive, but I will never forget that. I could never trust being around you, or I don't even trust you being around your kids. But that don't got nothing to do with me because, hey, when my father called me 2 weeks before my wedding and told me that he disowned me, I took that to heart, and guess what? Bye. Weight has been lifted.
So let me ask you a question. So did they disown you because you were marrying a woman? Was it because the situation with your sister's husband, or was it like a jumble of everything?
It was a jumble of everything. They felt like I should have never brought that back up again. He was like, you didn't bring that up before. I was like, yeah, I brought it up when it first happened. I brought it up when I first got out. Why? Y'all got to think of this. Why would I never go over there and spend the night by myself? I would always make my mom come with me. Like, let's be for real. And my thing is this, is my mom, like, you was molested as a child. How could you, out of all people, not have my back? So unless it's an apology to coming my way, we don't have nothing to speak about. It's nothing to talk about. And then they even went as far as saying that they wanted to get me and my wife sent back to prison. It's nothing to talk about.
Oh, wow.
I forgive y'all, but I could never forget. And we can't ever have that relationship again, because it showed me, which in it being in prison, you know, it kind of made it easy for these type of relationships because really and truly, the people that's closer to me right now is everybody that I was locked up with. People that was at our wedding, staff members from prison, inmates, inmates that got out. Like, I've built my family, and I'm appreciative for all the ones that's in my life. And, you know, hey, you know, all love to them, and I wish all the success, but we don't match. I'm not finna let anybody around me. Obviously, I shot the man that raped me, but I don't condone that type of shit. And if that's what y'all want to, go ahead. But that's not me. I'm good. So
speaking, I want to piggyback on that for a second, because you said the family that you built. There was a moment where you threw like a mild little celebration or rather, we'll say reunion, for the inmates that you had spent some time with, and you threw like I think it was like a cookout or something of that nature.
Reunion last year.
Yes. Now, how did that come about? Who's that? Was it your wife's idea, your idea? Was it a mutual thing? And then how did that go?
So honestly, I was like, you know what? I really miss like all of we've lost so many people. So I was like, let's try to see if we can let's try to put together a reunion. And if it goes well, we'll try to do it again next year. And we'll do it every year at the same time. It went well last year. Not that many people showed up because they was like, who gonna show up? You know, they were worried about who else was gonna show up. But once they seen that people actually showed up and we was having a good time, they was like, yo, I'm not missing the next one. So we're gonna do it every August 29th. That's every last Sunday of August. So it was amazing. It was dope. I can't wait to see everybody again next month. Like, it definitely was a vibe. It was my idea. I'm real into like keeping in touch, and you know, if I fuck with you, if I love you, I'm gonna do everything that I can to try to, you know, get us together. You know, because with my being in the hospital all the time, having lupus, I miss a lot. You know, and sometimes it makes me feel as if I'm not. I guess. I don't know. I feel like I miss too much.
You can say it. It's okay to say it makes you feel normal, like you're not dealing with lupus.
Yeah.
It's okay to say that.
Yeah. I feel normal when I'm doing that.
So based off of that, because, you know, a lot of our community are not aware what lupus is, even though so many of our people in our community actually suffer from it. Could you give us a breakdown of what lupus is and how it affects your life?
Lupus actually is an autoimmune disease that really fights. It's your body fighting itself. And it could come in like, just losing your hair or getting a rash or, every part of your body hurts. No matter what you do, I don't care what you're doing. Everything hurts. Some days are worse than others. For me, it hurts my joints, my bones. But, it also enhances anything that you're going through. So like, me being hit by that forklift, everything is enhanced more because of lupus.
Right.
So I hurt extra, or where people might be like, oh yeah, I feel a little bit better. I won't feel better just yet. Mm-hmm. So lupus, it affects a lot of us, and a lot of us don't even know that we have it. Because they don't have the actual right testing to get to it, and they still don't have a cure, and it's more common in people of color.
Yeah. Specifically women, Black women.
Yes. And I also, while we talking about it, I also want to encourage, every woman and every, parent to make sure that they get their child, checked for fibroids and cysts. African American women can get it as young as 12, 13, 14, and they can, and a lot of times they don't realize it because they thinking, oh, they this young, and you can have a fibroid growing in you. And for some reason, in people of color, it comes earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So always make sure that
you're absolutely right. It's funny you said that, because I remember when you actually did the segment on that, because I sat on that segment for a while and watched it, because me personally, I have fibroids. And I'm 43, and I have 3 kids, and my last child, who is now 2, as I was pregnant with her, I had, unbeknownst to me, had fibroids growing along with the development of my baby. So much to the point that when it was time for me to give birth, because I was supposed to vaginally have her, did not happen. There was one of my fibroids, and I think I had like a total of 5 or 6. And one of them were blocking my birth canal from her even coming out. So they had to do an emergency C-section.
Wow.
On me and it was crazy, because I went in to be induced with her, because I had preeclampsia with her. I had gestational diabetes with her. Like, I was in the hospital for a little bit of time, where I was supposed to stay there all the way up until I had the baby. But, once we found out I had the fibroids, they had to do an emergency C-section that night. They're like, okay, listen, I went in for induction earlier that morning. I think it was like 9 a.m. Around, I want to say like maybe 8 o'clock, 8:30ish, I was still like 2 centimeters dilated, maybe 4 even. And they're like, you know what, this is not doing anything. You got to have this baby. And, her oxygen was decreasing. So we had an emergency C-section. I never had surgery before prior to this. So I was horrified. It's something I had to go through. But the crazy thing about it, even though they gave me an emergency C-section, the fibroids are still in you. They can't do anything with that. They have to leave that there. Liability issues. So after I had to deal with suffering, and I put it off because I was scared of surgery. I'm not going to lie. I put it off to the point that I couldn't. I had 3 blood transfusions, in and out of the hospital, almost damn near lost my life. Thank God for my sister, and shout out to my sister Tamika, who's in Antigua right now. If it wasn't for her sending me to the hospital, I probably would have been dead somewhere. But my point about it is that it's so important to learn and get the diagnosis when you have it.
Yeah.
Because they can kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. I literally had 23 of them, and I had no idea. I went to my OBGYN 2 weeks before I had my surgery, and I was like, hey, when she was doing a little check, I was like, ow, is that normal? She was like, yeah, that's normal. 2 weeks later, I'm having emergency surgery. It literally was wedged between my rectum and my bladder, and they was 10.9 centimeters. Oh, it was definitely no joke, and I've been menopausing since. Yeah. I've had so many surgeries, I almost can't even believe. Like, literally, I can't believe it. Like, and there's times where, I sit and I cry, because my stomach don't look the same, my body don't feel the same. I could literally feel like somebody, the cadaver bone that's in here, somebody else's cadaver. I literally could feel it. I literally could feel my hardware in my spine. And sometimes it's just like I want to crawl out of my body. But, yeah.
But you know what? Even though you've went through horrific things and time periods in your life, you gotta, at some point, admit to yourself, hey, God didn't save me through a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm. I'm like,
he didn't save me through a lot of shit.
Who is this? Oh, that's me.
I mean, because the average person going through all of that, not just physically, but mentally going through that, because that's a whole different aspect. We're not even going to, we haven't even tapped on the mental part of it.
Right.
To go through that and still come out on top, smiling, successful, music's doing well, podcast is doing well, you're flourishing in your marriage, you're blessed.
Yeah.
You are blessed. How does it feel to when you do have a minute to yourself, when you're by yourself or whenever you wind down and you think about everything that you went through and where you're at now? How does that make you feel?
Honestly, I feel proud. Like, if they didn't think that I would be able to do it when I was in prison, because I kept telling them, when I get out, I'm gonna be doing music. I never imagined that I would be an advocate. I would be this, I would be that. I didn't imagine all of that. I just told them the music. But to know that I still have my girls that still watch me, the staff members that's like, yo, you look at you still doing this. I'm like, yeah, I'm motivated. This is my purpose. I'm walking in my purpose. I'm living in my purpose. And living and walking in my purpose makes me happy. Like, it makes me smile even through the pain. There's times where I had just had surgery and got on the couch the next day like, hey, y'all, because I needed their energy. But I'm very thankful. And anytime I have a moment to myself, I'm thinking the higher power, like, yes, thank you, for keep getting me up and pushing and still, having the words to speak out my mouth to help somebody else, I'm just thankful.
And you it's crazy because, just a couple of years back when we were sitting in this same spot, I was interviewing you. Mm-hmm. Who would have thought that you turned from artist to two-time award-winning podcaster? I mean, we don't necessarily always know what our calling is or our hidden talents, so to say. I mean, because I didn't know that who would have thought 10 years ago I would have been sitting here, award-winning podcast myself,
right?
Talking to another fellow Black woman, it's amazing to, do things like this where you have a purpose and you're giving other people a purpose and helping, especially in our community right now, because the way we set up right now is it's crazy.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's crazy, and we need more outlets like yours, where we're able to be vulnerable and talk about the things that we're going through, health, relationships, sometimes I hate my damn kids someday, but hey, I'm gonna sit here and watch the couch because maybe she hate her kids today too, and maybe we could walk each other through it. Like,
no, for real,
we need things like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fact.
So now that we've gotten to this point, because you've had an amazing journey all the way up until this point, what's next?
Okay, so what's next is my wife graduated from Full Sail University, and she had been working on films and stuff. So doing more films, and I actually been working on this play since last year. I'm writing a play. I want to do like a Christmas play. I want to start putting on like Christmas, like doing a Christmas play, but shooting it as a movie. So whoever is involved, they kids can watch it. They could watch, you know what I'm saying? Watch it for the holidays when it's all finished, edited. And like, I want to get more into, I want to do more footwork once, once I'm healed a little bit more. I want to get more into the streets, because I used to do like a street team where I'd be out talking to like homeless people, and I want to do more, I want to. And I also, I don't know if you've seen, I went and we was looking for a house, and somebody, people's now telling me I need to be a real estate agent. So you never know what's in the cards. I might have to get into real estate.
You never know. Nobody just has one talent,
Oh, yeah.
Some people could be triple or quadruple that.
I do so much. Like, I'm literally, like, I'm a photographer, a videographer, I'm ordained minister, a makeup artist. I do so much, and I help so many people. So honestly, I'm just thankful, because if I didn't have these talents, if I didn't have, the support that I have, I don't know, honestly, if I would be sitting right here today, or if I would have ever even met you, or who knows.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I know one thing. The first thing you need to do is you need to write a book.
Yeah.
About your story.
Yeah.
You definitely need to. I don't know if it's a book, a poem, a haiku. I don't know, but something need to be somewhere down the line. A pen need to be put to some damn paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let that out, because do you know how many people probably have went through your exact journey, or something similar, or bits and parts is over here, something,
Mm-hmm.
Hell, put it on damn Tubi. I mean, something.
Yeah. Facts.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this next question I ask everybody that comes on here, and definitely going to ask you this, because I would like to know your answer. I feel like you're going to give me such a unique answer to this question. Being that tomorrow is never promised, and if you leave this earth tomorrow, what would you want your legacy to be known for?
Honestly, I want my legacy to be known for truth, seeking truth and standing up for things or people who couldn't stand up for themselves. I will be leaving my legacy, not as children, but as podcast episodes. I got so many episodes that people can go back and listen to and get some type of information from, and just leaving that out there, knowing that I didn't, get the opportunity to have kids. To me, that's everything, because you'll be able to see, if you didn't know who I was, you would be able to see what type of person that I was through my real rawness and vulnerability through my couch. So my legacy, it's already planted. The seed is already planted. It's just, I guess, waiting on me to finish.
Oh, no, that's right. So what's next for the couch? Because what we got coming up?
Okay, so what we do have coming up this whole week actually is Prison Jail Felon Talk. I got some guests coming up. I got a guest coming July 17th. It's his second time. His name is Derek, the spiritual coach. Super excited to have him back.
Okay.
Also, I do so much on the outside, and I just umbrella it under the couch. I got a couple of makeup faces to do, every year. Shout out to Shalonda Lewis, because every year I make sure now to I do faces for the prom for free.
Okay.
Because I didn't get to have a prom, so they do say yes to the prom dress. They give out prom dresses. They do hair, makeup, they do everything. So I make sure to at least do 50 faces for free, every year. To me, I feel like not just giving back to the community, but giving back to our younger generation too. If we could find different things, because there's a lot of these kids out here right now that even need, photo shoots, that need, school books, football helmets. Mm-hmm. So anything that I could do to help the younger generation, I am doing. Period.
I know that's right. Speaking of the younger generation, my condolences to Nolan Wells' family. They found his body today. Wow. Let me just speak a moment on that real quick to our people, because and y'all know me, y'all ain't no stranger over here on the culture. Y'all know I'm gonna be very blunt as possible. Y'all take it how you want to take it. Stop allowing your Black children, son, daughter, whatever, brother, sister, cousins, to be amongst groups of Caucasians by themselves. I can't stress that enough. And the reason why I say that is because this is now becoming a repetitive thing.
Yes.
Let's go back to the mother, the Black mother that was killed in Georgia. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say killed because she definitely was murdered in Georgia at the what is it, a sleepover with grown women. She was the only African American woman there, all white women, and their husbands was there, or somebody's husbands was there, except for hers, and she was murdered. Then we have Nolan. Then we have the two black brothers that were traveling, and that white guy killed them. Stop allowing y'all children to be in these companies, these social circles. I understand and I get it. If you live in a neighborhood, especially if you have an abundance of money now, or you're at a social point in your life where you make relatively good money, you live in a good neighborhood. I get it. But educate your children. Okay? You don't go and leave your Black child sitting with no white people. Now, I don't know if y'all saw that picture of them on the boat. He had his arms around them. They didn't embrace him. He was embracing them. Okay? They didn't find him in the water. They found him on the island. Okay? What did they do? They took their behinds and left him there, and they went back home like ain't nothing happened. And now they are lawyering up because they found the body. If y'all did nothing, why do y'all need lawyers? A lawyer? I mean, let's continue. I mean, let's be smart about this. Racism has not stopped. Has it gotten somewhat better over the decades?
No.
Yes.
No, it has not. It's just been hidden. People just not loud and proud with it anymore. Period.
Basically. We're not enslaved anymore. We're not physically enslaved. Let me say that. Because mentally, we're still enslaved in a lot of things. But physically, we're not enslaved. But
I mean, here,
please educate your children.
There's somebody enslaved somewhere. Let's just be
definitely. Like, my heart goes out to his. I couldn't imagine being his mother. I mean, me having kids, and I could not imagine somebody telling me that they found one.
Jasmine. Hold on. Maybe something happened. Hello? I think something happened. See, when we be talking about some heavy ass shit, I promise you this happens every time. If I'm live with myself, if I'm live with somebody else, anytime we talking about something heavy or deep, this happens. Yep. Let's see if it comes back. Yep, they don't want us speaking the truth. I promise you, every time this, I swear to God, look, it shut the whole thing down. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
You heard me? Did you hear what I said?
Did you want to add anything for Virginia? Yeah, I heard you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I was saying every time this happens on the couch, all the time. Anytime we talk about something heavy like this, something shut down or like, what the fuck? Like, we know y'all listening. We know y'all don't want us speaking the truth. We know y'all don't want us connecting, but guess what? We still gonna fucking do it. Man.
And we do. And we do. We are more, let me just say this, we are more powerful than numbers. If we stop fighting each other and bring ourselves together, we are unstoppable. Just remember that, people.
Exactly. I'm gonna put this out there right now. I'm doing everything I can to shop Black owned. I don't give a fuck if I have to travel. I'm gonna do it. I think we should all start doing that now. No matter if you like, you know what, they don't got that. Okay, we'll get it shipped in. Get it shipped in. Y'all shop from Amazon. And I do want to say this real quick because I had made a post maybe two months ago. I was at this nail shop. You know, it wasn't Black owned. It was Asians. So, you know, everything that happened with the Asians, that's been happening now. Y'all been seeing that. Okay. Well, I want y'all to ask yourselves this. How come y'all would stop shopping Asian, but nobody has ever stopped shopping white? What? How y'all boycott the Asians? No, really, let's just be for real. But nobody has boycotted Caucasians. Businesses. Come on. Let's be for real. Y'all gotta make it make sense.
And what's so crazy about it, the black dollar is so powerful.
Yes.
And they have no clue how powerful it is.
It's so powerful. They know. Burnt down the whole
but Black
Wall Street. The whole Black Wall Street. They burnt it. That's how strong. Let me tell y'all something. Let us do it again. I dare y'all. I dare you to shop Black dollars. I just found this amazing cosmetic teeth surgeon. He's amazing. He's Black owned. He's in Atlanta. I'm going to share his information on my page because guess what? I'm going to drive to him just to get done.
I know that's right.
Yeah, because we need to stop. We need to start shopping Black owned and stop acting like y'all act like y'all gonna come against the. Let's really come against some shit. For real. Let's really do some shit together. Let's really come together. Let's do it for real.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And you know what? And I get it because I know some people are gonna be like, well, you know, I try to support Black businesses, but you know, they always either scamming or they always trying to outprice us.
Oh well.
I get that.
That's
but
because
that
the white man is overcharging them.
Oh well. Right. Y'all out here buying. These white people is overpricing y'all too. Y'all still buying from them.
Y'all still buying Jordans that you can get in China for $5.
Right, the little Karate Kid they made.
Let's be for real, y'all. I don't care how expensive our people are. I'm going to start shopping with them. Period. I don't care. I don't care if it's $20,000, and if I would have went to the white man, he would have gave it to me for $500. Guess what? He probably would have been stealing my bone marrow, poisoning me, and all type of shit. Oh well. I'm going to the Black man.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like I said, y'all know what to do. Please go over, support this young woman right here. Yes. The Couch. I can find her on all social media, all over Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, any social media source she's on it.
Yes.
Okay, y'all go support. I promise you won't be disappointed in her content because I'm not. I am a fan. So,
period. I'm a fan.
Janelle, do you have any shout? I'm gonna give you the time to have any shout outs you want to give to anybody.
My shout out is to my beautiful wife, and also to all my couch potatoes and anybody that tuned in to Something for the Culture anytime. Shout out to all of you guys. Shout out to all my black people. I love y'all. The fuck? Yeah. It's the Couch Chronicles on Something for the Culture. Okay? Yeah. Period. I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it. I love you guys.
I'm Jazzy J.
Not Jazzy J. Clapping you off. Oh, I was like clapping you off.
Yeah, clap me out of here, sis.
Period. And I will be on the couch tomorrow at 8 Central Time. I love you guys. We out of here. That was pretty cool. Hey, let's find out. I love you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll be regular couch tomorrow. Y'all know this wasn't the couch episode. I just was getting interviewed. Thank y'all for tuning in. I will see y'all tomorrow at 8 Central Time. I love y'all so much. Good night.